Okay, let's talk about it. Choosing your GCSEs. This is probably one of the first really big decisions you've had to make about your school life, right? And yeah, it can feel like a huge deal because, well, it kind of is. But don't you worry. We're going to break this whole thing down for you, step by step. So you're in year 9, and all of a sudden, it feels like everyone's talking about your options, your pathway, your future. It's a lot, right? If you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, trust me, that is completely normal. The trick is just to take a deep breath and figure out a plan. And that's what we're here to do. All right, let's get personal for a second. Let's say you're someone who actually enjoys your English lessons. But outside of school, you're all about creating content for your friends on Snapchat, making videos, and you've got this real passion for makeup and fashion. So how on earth do you connect that to a school timetable? Where do you even begin? Well, the best place to start is always with what you're actually good at and, what you genuinely enjoy. So let's see how we can turn those passions into actual school subjects. Okay, so you love fashion and makeup, you're creative, you've got an eye for style, maybe you're even thinking about a future in the beauty industry. That is awesome. And guess what? That passion points directly to some really cool, really practical GCSE options. Just look at these options. Something like art, textiles, and fashion lets you get hands-on, experimenting with different materials and how things are made. Photography? That's perfect. It teaches you all the technical skills you need to create those amazing images for a portfolio or, just for your social media. And then there's design technology, which is all about building your skills in creating actual 3D products. And what about loving Snapchat and creating content? Let's be real, that's not just a hobby anymore, it's a proper modern skill. And believe it or not, it has a place in the world of GCSEs. Okay, media studies is a perfect fit here. Seriously, you get to study pretty much everything from social media and TV to movies and ads. It's all about digging into how the stuff we watch every single day is actually made. And things like photography and drama, they're brilliant for building those key skills in visual storytelling and just being more confident. It all boils down to this one simple idea. And this is a direct quote from your school's options booklet. Choose subjects you are interested in that you enjoy and will be good at. Honestly, that's the golden rule. If you stick to that, you really can't go too far wrong. All right, so you've had a good think about your passions. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty, the practical stuff. Because it's not just about picking what you love. There are a few rules and structures you've got to get your head around. So let's decode them together. First up, the basics. These are the subjects everyone has to do, no ifs or buts. We're talking English, maths, science, core PE, and PSHE. Think of these as the foundation of your timetable, and all your other choices will be built around them. Now, you've probably heard this term EBAC being thrown around a lot, right? So what on earth is it? Well, it's not some extra certificate you get in the post. It's just a name for a particular group of academic GCSEs that universities and employers really like to see. So to get the EBAC, you need what's called a good pass, which is a grade 5 or higher in a few key subjects: English, maths, science, a language, and then either history or geography. The main reason for doing it? It's a pathway that's designed to keep your future options super open, especially if you think you might want to go to university one day. Okay, so how do you actually make your choices? Well, your school uses something called option blocks to build the timetable. It's actually pretty simple. You have to pick one subject from each block. So you've got to look closely because you can't, for example, pick both media studies and sociology since they're in the same block. See the ones highlighted in yellow? Those are your EBAC subjects. And the big rule is you must choose at least one of them. And just a quick word on grades because this has changed. The old A star to G system, that's gone. Now it's all about numbers, 9 down to 1. A 9 is the absolute top grade you can get. It's even better than the old A star. A grade 4 is what they call a standard pass, and a 5 is a strong pass. Okay, so with all that in mind, let's run through some really simple do's and don'ts to help you make a smart choice. Right, do choose subjects you enjoy and are good at. That's number 1. Do try to keep your choices broad. It just opens up more doors for you later on. And definitely do a little research into what you might need for future careers. Now for the don'ts. Please don't pick a subject just because your best friend is. You'll probably end up in different classes anyway. And trust me on this one, there is no such thing as an easy GCSE. So you've thought about your passions, you get the rules. What's next? Let's talk about your action plan. Okay, here are the key dates you need to know. The whole process is already kicking off, with assemblies and discussions happening right now. The really big one to circle on your calendar is March 27th. That's the deadline to get your choices in, and it's right before the Easter holidays.
Then, during the summer term, you'll find out your final allocations.
So, just to recap the process, when you go to fill out that online form, there are three main things you have to do. One, you've got to pick at least one EBAC subject. Two, for each block, you need to pick a first choice and a reserve choice, just in case. And three, make sure you hit that submit button before the deadline. Simple as that.
And remember, you are absolutely not on your own with this. Seriously, talk to your teachers, talk to your tutor, go and have a chat with Mr. Case or Mr. McConville, check out the school's online options hub, and have a look at other websites like Career Pilot and I Could, just to get some ideas. There is a whole network of people and resources just waiting to help you out.
Look, choosing your GCSEs, it's about more than just what classes you'll be in for the next 2 years. This is one of the first times you get to really actively shape your own education and start building that foundation for whatever comes next. So take your time with it, make a choice that feels right for you, and get excited. You're about to start writing your own story.